Hey everybody, Kevin P McAullife here for Boris Effects, and I'm back again with another brand new tutorial, and this time we're going to take a look at the brand new Boris Continuum unit called shaders, and I'm going to show you why Final Cut Pro and Motion users are going to get really excited about this plugin package. Okay, now as you can see in front of you, I've put together a little video showing off some of the effects that are included in the Boris Continuum shaders library. In the library, you're going to get 13 effects that you're going to be able to use, like I said, in both Final Cut Pro and Motion. And the best part about these effects is that they're designed to play back in real time, even on HD footage. Okay, so I'm just going to hit escape and I'm going to quit out of QuickTime here for 1 second because I just want to come into Firefox and show you what you're going to get with the Boris Continuum shaders unit. You're going to get CHROMA Key Studio. Now, if you're not familiar with CHROMA Key Studio, what you need to do is head back over to the tutorials section on the Boris Effects website and check out the tutorial that I did recently on CHROMA Key Studio, and you're going to see why that this is the CHROMA Key package that you're going to want to have if you edit in Final Cut Pro. Because the best part about this plugin is not only is it 3 plugins combined into one, but you don't even need to leave Final Cut Pro to do your keying work, which is excellent. Okay, so the next effect that you're going to get is you're going to get flicker and shake, you're going to get 3D perspective, you're going to get multi-tone, you're going to get film effect, which is one of my personal favorites, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial. You get glow edge, and you get Luma rays. Now I know what you're thinking to yourself, well hold on a second, that was only 8 effects. Well that's right, because the last 5 effects are transition effects, and when you were watching the initial video, if you saw all the transitions between each one of those clips, those were different transitions that are included in Boris Continuum shaders. Okay, so I'm going to Command Tab into Final Cut Pro. And as you can see, I have the clip here that I was working with when I did the film effect. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the clip, I'm going to navigate up to Effects, and I'm going to come down to Video Filters, and you'll see that in your video filters, they have been identified as BCS for Boris Continuum shaders, and you just pick the one that you want. So I'm going to pick BCS Effects, and I'm going to come over here to Film Effect. Now, once it's applied, I know what everybody does right away. They come right over and they say, okay, let's choose a preset, and we'll just choose Bleach Bypass because it's the first one. That's one of the big things I love about Boris Effects' effects package. Lots of presets, because for me, sometimes I don't have time to get in there and create a look from scratch. So I just need to have a point to start at and then work from there. And that's what I love using these for. So I'll just pick the first one, Bleach Bypass, because what I want to show you, and this is an HD clip, is I can just come over here and I can hit play, and this is going to play back for me in real time in HD. Pretty impressive. Okay, now let's just come back to the effect here because there's a couple other things that I want to show you. So I'm just going to double click on the clip. I'm going to come back to filters because like I said, in most cases what happens here is people just rush in, they come over to their presets and they just pick one that they like and they just go with it from there. But one thing that makes shaders stand out from other plugin packages that you're accustomed to working with is there's a great feature in it called the preset browser. Now here's how the preset browser works. Simply click on the preset browser, and now you're going to get a visual representation of what each one of these filters looks like. Very, very handy to have. And the great thing is if you're looking at this saying, well, I don't know, it's a little bit too small, we can simply zoom in on them here and make them bigger so it's a lot easier for us to see, and we can even adjust the window just like that. And what we can also do is let's just pick one here. I'm just going to come down and pick, yeah, sure, let's pick Cool Tone. We'll just double click on it, and double clicking on it automatically applies it to our clip. But what I'm going to do here is with it selected, you'll see that I'm looking at this thinking to myself, well, I don't really know. I can't really tell what this is going to look like because it's just taking the first frame of the effect, which is common in many effects packages. So what I'm going to do is with my preset selected, I'm simply going to drag down the timeline, and you can see that it updates right away so that I can pick whatever frame I want to use as a reference frame. I could even hit play and play this and watch it in real time if I wanted to. But the great thing, like I said, is I can come down now and pick a frame, not just the first frame, so that I can get an accurate look at what this effect is going to look like at the most important part of the shot. Okay, so I'm just going to scale this down a little bit again here just so that I can see them all because I just want to show you a couple other great features here. As you can see up at the top here, we have an area where we could type in to search for a specific look that we wanted. For example, if I wanted to type in the word misty, or even just the word mist, you can see that the 3 presets show themselves that have mist in it. Lens mist, misty black and white vignette, and misty black and white. So you can see that if you have a lot of presets, whether they were ones that came with the package or ones that you've created, you can quickly and easily find any look that you want. Now, speaking of ones that you created, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this here, just delete it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close the preset browser for 1 second here, and I'm just going to come in and I'm going to show you some of the other stuff because I want to show you about creating presets, because creating presets is very, very simple and you can access them from the preset browser. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll down my effects window here, because what I want to do is I'm just going to turn vignette on here just like that, and we'll just add a couple little tweaks here to our vignette just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to save it out here. So let me just come back up here and I'm going to enable some grain. And that's looking pretty good. So we're just going to say that I'm happy with this right now. So what I'm going to do is this originally was called Cool Tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it Cool Tone with Grain and Vignette. And I'm going to say Save Preset. Now what I can do is I can access the preset browser again, and you'll see now that right over here I now have my Cool Tone with Grain and Vignette right there beside my other Cool Tone. Again, if I wanted to search for it, I could simply type in cool, and there we go. There's our 2 looks ready to go. Okay, so one last thing that I want to show you with this effect is that, like I was showing you before, this film effect has a lot of parameters that go with it. And they're as simple to turn on and off as just enabling them or disabling them. So I can simply come through and just make sure that these are all disabled if I don't want to see any of them, and then add them as I want them, which makes it a very easy way to work. So I'm just going to turn on tint and I'm going to turn on grain again because I want to show you how this is going to work when we apply flicker and shake to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to navigate up to effects. I'm going to come down to video filters and we're going to come back to BCS effects and I'm going to add flicker and shake. Now I know what you're thinking right away. Okay, yeah, flicker and shake. So now we have it both on here and I'm just going to double click on it to update. And there's flicker and shake right there. Again, we have a whole bunch of different presets. But the one problem that we always have is that, especially with something like a preset browser, it's going to show you a preview of what this effect looks like, not what your entire composite looks like. Not true with Boris Continuum shaders. If I come up to the preset browser, you'll see that if I come in here, what it's giving me is it's giving me a visual representation of the film effect and flicker and shake combined. So if I drag down my timeline here, we'll pick one here and then drag down the timeline, you can see that it's giving me an update, and if I was to come and turn off BCS film effect, you'll see it updates right away. So this is a very, very handy way to work because now you can get an idea of what the final image will look like when you're done. It just goes to show you the power of Final Cut Pro and Boris Continuum shaders. So if you would like some more information about the Boris Continuum shaders unit from Boris FX, you can simply navigate to the Boris FX website, check it out under Products, under Continuum Units. This has been Kevin P. McAullife for Boris FX. Thanks a lot for watching.